Game 4, Knicks-Pacers. It ain't over yet. Never in doubt the New York Knicks win Game 3, overcome a 20-point deficit, a 10-point deficit entering the fourth quarter. The Knicks pull it out, and bizarro world NBA playoffs continue. So what happens in Game 4? Well, I've got the answer for you. Side, total, player props. Knicks-Pacers, Tuesday night, coming up free for you right here, right now. Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV. And let's wave the flag one more time, a little post-Memorial Day celebration. I told you all let's break YouTube yesterday, and you came pretty damn close to breaking my wrist and thumbs replying back to all the comments. Lots of USA, lots of flags emojis. I think it was the most comments we've ever gotten on one of my videos here, so I do appreciate the support. But let's keep it going. I read the comments every day, and let me know your thoughts on this game tonight between the Knicks and Pacers. I'm going to give you my thoughts now, but love to hear yours as well for Game 4. As I mentioned, Knicks overcame a 20-point deficit on Sunday for Game 3 and pulled out the win. They were down early in the first half. Wasn't looking good. You know, when they were down 0-2 back in Indiana, you didn't think the Pacers would blow a 20-point lead. So we'll see if it lingers or not in Game 4. And the reason I mention that is because if you recall back in Game 1, the Knicks had a 14-point lead with 2.5 minutes to go, and they blew that lead. They were up by 9 with 50 seconds, 8 with 35 seconds, and it went to overtime. Indiana won. And then I thought the Knicks were in a good bounce-back spot in Game 2, and they lost outright as a favorite. So I do think maybe that loss, that overtime loss, lingered. We'll see if the Pacers' loss lingers. I don't think it will because they're still at home. I picked them when the series began. If you recall before Game 1, I had a best bet of the Pacers in Game 1 for my clients. Also mentioned them here in the video. They are my preferred side in this series. Whenever we get our preferred side in a series coming off a loss, it's always worth a look. So I do think Indiana bounces back here in Game 4. And the situation, in my opinion, is much better for the Pacers now, yet there's really been no change on the line. New York was +2, maybe closed 1.5 in Game 3. Now they're +2, Indiana -2. But the sharper books, let's talk about the sharper books out there. There are some 2.5s, including Pinnacle. And many of you in the comments, by the way, because once again, I read the comments, I reply back, I listen to the comments, the positive comments, the suggestive comments, said, hey, keep including those Pinnacle leans when you have the sharp square divide. It's a little bit of a public fade the public thing. And Pinnacle is sitting at 2.5, whereas the South Point, which is kind of a public book, is sitting at 2 in Vegas. But there's other books like Bet Online and Circa that are pretty sharp, sitting at 2 also, even bookmakers. So we'll see where this line settles. But I do think some of the sharper books will be 2.5 by game time on Tuesday night, and that is the side I'd rather be on. As far as the total, open 222. It's come down a bit to 221. Even a 220.5 at bookmaker. Pinnacle's 221 to the under. So it does look a little bit of early sharp money is on the under. But I think the side and total are somewhat correlated in this series. I've been talking a lot about this here in recent videos, that the Pacers play fast. Great offensive team, mediocre defensive team. They love to play at tempo. The Knicks play more up-tempo the last couple of years than in years past. However, I think maybe they're starting to realize they really can't play that way and have success. And that's why I mentioned in Game 3 when I liked the Knicks that a Pacer team total or the game under as well could be worth a look. And all of those cash, I know you all had a huge weekend. I gave you the Timberwolves on Saturday. Nobody wanted the Timberwolves in Game 3 on Saturday. We cashed with that. And then we also kind of faded the public with the Knicks on Sunday in Game 3. But I also mentioned that I thought the under was in play because New York had to slow things down. So I do think Indiana over, New York under, somewhat correlated still here in Game 4. So while the line, maybe a little bit of sharp money starting to show on the Pacers, it does look like the early sharp money's on the under. I don't totally agree with that. I think if you like Indiana, it's going to be a higher scoring game. If it's a lower scoring game, if it stays under again, that probably favors the Knicks. Keep in mind, Game 1 was a shootout, 250 points in regulation, landed 273, up and over the 221.5 easily. They bumped it to 223.5 in Game 2. It landed 223. Indiana once again won and covered outright. And then Game 3, as I mentioned, just 206, and they bumped it all the way to 224. So this total has come down about a basket and a half here from 224 down to 221 because of the lower scoring Game 3. I do think the Pacers team total over could be worth a look as they probably have to have a high scoring game to win. So once again, if you're playing Indiana, you could just play the team total over because hard to imagine it's going to be a low scoring game and they would benefit. Whereas if you like the Knicks, you could also just play the team total under for Indiana. By the way, they're sitting at 111.5. Knicks sitting about 109.5 here for game number 4. That's at 8 o'clock Eastern Tuesday night on TNT. All right, let's look at some player props. We've been doing really well so far this postseason with the player props. And as you know, I love to dig into the previous game, maybe find a misleading box score. We look to zig and zag on these player props whenever possible. One guy that we knew would regress, and we talked about fading him the last couple games. After that monster game one, Aaron Nesmith, the 30-point game. Keep in mind, he only had 10 points about halfway through the fourth quarter in game one, and then exploded in the late part of the fourth in the overtime. The 30 points is very misleading, and we faded him the last two games. He had just 12 points in game two, and he stayed under easily in game three on Sunday with only 8 points. But he played just 26 and a half minutes, and now he is questionable with an ankle injury. I'm doing this video on Monday afternoon, a day before, because we're getting them up the day before for you nice and early. But Nesmith right now is listed as questionable for game four with the ankle injury. So let's leave him off the prop card. And I would favor most Indiana players over is another reason I wouldn't fade Nesmith anymore. And if he is out, that would actually benefit even more Indiana players to have more points, more three-point attempts. So once again, if the Pacers get back on track and it's a higher scoring game, I think that would favor Indiana players over. Miles Turner was in foul trouble. He had 5 fouls in game three and still finished with 19 points. He was only 1 for 6 from three-point range, 6 for 12 overall, 6 for 8 from the line, but just 1 for 6 from three with foul trouble and just 33 minutes and still got to 19 points. And he was priced at just 14.5 in the last game. So Miles Turner has now scored 14 or more in all 3 games in this series. So I like him up and over if Indiana bounces back. Siakam probably has to have a big game. Halliburton's always dicey. We mentioned him. He had 20 points, only had 7 assists. He had 11, I believe, in each of the first 2 games. So once again, I look for Halliburton to have a much better game. He had just 14 points in game 2, but 11 assists, 31 points, 11 assists. Halliburton assist prop, and I'll pull that up for you. Actually, I don't have the assist prop in front of me, so I will pull it up for you. His points are always up and down. In fact, if you just look at him here over the last 6 playoff games, he's had 31 twice, 20, but also 14, 11, and 4 points. So he's really up and down on points, lives and dies by the 3 sometimes. His three-pointers made is at 2.5 to 3. He should get at least 2 threes, so I would probably take over 2.5 threes with him if you can find that. But his assist odds is what I was going to pull up here. Anywhere from 8.5 to 9.5. He's 9.5 in the last couple of games, but I do see some 8.5s out there because he only had 7 assists in game 3. He had 11 both in games 1 and 2. Not many assists against Cleveland, which is a concern, but I think the matchup here is better for him to get more assists. So once again, Halliburton points or assist over. You got to figure at least one of them is going to hit, if not both, if the Pacers play well, as expected on Tuesday night. As far as the New York Knicks go, never looking to fade the superstars, Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns. Towns had 5 fouls, actually had some foul trouble, played 33 minutes, still had 24 points. Brunson only 23 points, just 6 for 18 shooting, 1 for 5. If you had told me he was going to be 1 for 5 and only 6 for 18 shooting, boy, and the Knicks would be down by 20, never would have thought New York came back to win that game. So I look for Brunson to have a better game. And even if you favor Indiana, that once again favors the over, which means some Knicks players could still get up and over their point total even if they lose the game. So Karl-Anthony Towns and Brunson over a pass for me. Of the two, I'd probably rather have Jalen Brunson over because I think he bounces back after a subpar game 1. He had 36 points in game 3 rather. He had 36 points in game 2, and in game 1 he had 43 points. So a subpar game 3 is what I meant to say. He's likely to bounce back. So Brunson up and over. His point total is probably worth a look. It was 31.5 in the last game, and now it's as low as 29.5. So I do think we get a little bit of value with Brunson up and over his point total. As you know, the most underrated, I accidentally said overrated the other video, underrated superstar in the NBA. If we are looking to fade some New York guys, once again, Josh Hart has not done much in this series. We called him out before game 3. He finished with 8 points. In game 2, he had just 6 points on 3 shots. And in game 1, he did absolutely nothing either. In 44 minutes in game 1 with the overtime, he had only 8 points on 6 shots. So once again, it's under or pass for me with Josh Hart props. He's playing a lot of minutes, but they have him out there more for defense and offense. So keep that in mind when you're handicapping some of the Knicks player props for game 4. There you go. A little bit of a quick hitter. And once again, I love the support. And you all literally broke the YouTube comment section. I think you broke my wrist typing back because I try to reply to every comment. You all tested me on Monday. A lot of comments. We had over 600-700 comments midday, and that's like double what we'd ever had in other videos. So the views are coming in. Really appreciate the support. Hey, tell a friend, right? If you know a friend that likes the NBA playoffs or likes sports betting, tell them about WagerTalk and tell them about this YouTube channel. Let's keep it growing. We have over 203,000 subscribers. I'm sure you're one of them, but if you forgot, double check. Just make sure you've clicked subscribe And when you do so, I highly recommend clicking the bell as well. What does that bell do? It gives you an instant alert when any of these free play videos are posted. Yes, I'm doing every NBA playoff game every day. I've done it since the play-in round. I gave you every NCAA tournament March Madness game, starting with the play-in round to the championship. I'm doing the same here in the playoffs. So click subscribe, click that bell for an instant alert. And don't forget, a lot of free baseball plays this week in daily videos as well. Another reason to click that bell. And if you're finding it useful, thumbs up, like, positive comments below, because I do read the comments and I reply back. Let's learn and earn and win together here on Wager Talk TV. Include some analysis and what side total and player props you're looking at for Game 4 here, Knicks Pacers on Tuesday night. Now, I give you a lot of free opinions in these videos. Sometimes they make my best bet card, but most of the time they're not quite strong enough, just a bit outside. If you want my official best bets each and every day, it's so simple. Go to WagerTalk.com, click on my page, Steve Merril, and check out my personal best bets. And they are truly my personal best bets because it's quite simple. If I have a play, I give it to my clients. I've been doing this since 1996. Full-time professional handicapper. That's 4 decades. 90s, 2000s, the teens, and now the 20s. 4 decades. 29 years, but it's 4 decades, so don't question that math. And I'm pretty good at what I've done. Done this for a living for more than 70% of my life now. And if I have a play, my clients get it. And I'm very selective. Don't let the low selective, the low volume fool you. It equals big profit, low risk, high reward. That's my motto. 1 to 3 best bets per day in all sports, which means those bonus plays, which I put in free videos and on my page, are pretty strong opinions still. And I do put the last cut, my strongest opinion, up as a free play every day for everyone on my page at WagerTalk.com. So check out the daily free play. Check out $5 Tuesday. I almost buried the lead. It's $5 Tuesday. Hey, he's upside down. $5 Tuesday. It cashes either way. But seriously, an instant 80% discount on my top best bet for Tuesday right now at WagerTalk.com. And you can use it for myself and any other capper you'd like. Unlimited uses. Every capper can put up a $5 best bet. So we do it every week. It's a Customer Appreciation Tuesday special. So if you're liking the $5 best bet, check it out for Tuesday night. It's a great way to try out my service. But if you're serious about winning, you really should have a direct subscription. And there's a couple offers I want to point out to you. Summer Celebration is about to expire. It's Memorial Day through Labor Day. You can still get in on it. Yeah, you missed Memorial Day, but it's, hey, look, you got 3 more months still. That's every baseball, basketball, and football play through Labor Day on September 1st. Works out to about $5 a day. And once again, I average 2 to 3 plays, so that's just a couple dollars per play. So if you like the $5 best bet once a week, 1 play, why not get every game, every day for $5, every game for about $2 to $3 over the next 3 months? The Summer Celebration, which gets mostly baseball, gets that first week of college football, the NFL preseason, the rest of the NBA playoffs and finals. But baseball is such a great sport right now. Last summer, we had doubled our bankroll for all sports clients by the end of August. Before Labor Day, we'd won over 100 units last year, and we're looking to do it again here in 2025. So the Summer Celebration, no promo code needed. It's still on my page. Or the best offer is the 1-year all-access pass, which gets every football play next year, college and pro, every college basketball play, every NBA play next year into the playoffs, next year's baseball, the rest of this year's baseball, a full 365 days and nights of all sports best bets. And when you use promo code SM365, you get an instant $811 discount. That gets it down to $3 a day, just over $1 a play. So yeah, $5 Tuesday's fun, but how about $1 a play for everything for the next 365 days and nights? Well, go to my page and use promo code SM365 when you select the 1-year all-access pass, and you will save $811 instantly. This is how you truly take a long-term, consistent investment approach. Figure out which package works best for you. It doesn't matter if it's a one play, 1 day, 1 month, 1 year. Every client gets the exact same best bets that I'm personally using each day. Same games I've won consistently with since 1996 as a full-time professional handicapper. And get to my page quicker for that daily free play. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Use shortcut WT.buzz/SM. On the way out, don't forget to follow me on social media on X and Instagram at Steve Merril. 2 R's, 1 L. You see it on the bottom of the corner of the screen there. 2 R's, 1 L at Steve Merril on X and Instagram. Also, check me out on Wager Talk Today Tuesday. I'll be in one of the guest spots on Tuesday afternoon on Wager Talk Today here. That's live at noon Eastern, then archived 24/7. And stay tuned here to Wager Talk TV because you know there's more free play videos coming up next.